Hello, my friends. Welcome to At-Home Activities and Curriculum with Cinnamon and Megan. We're at week 24, and this week's theme is I Can Do It. Also brought to you by the letter Y. All right, friends. We're going to go and touch base with Meg in a little bit about some addition and some subtraction skills, but let's hop right into the theme. So I can do it. So like we said, you can always find your books online. Here's some two books that I chose just to highlight right now, but anything that supports the theme is good. We got Leo the Late Bloomer from back in the day. I'm pretty sure parents are familiar with this one. I am very much familiar. I like to refer to myself as such. Still blooming late. And this book, Bigger, literally goes through him growing up. And so this is all about transitions and stuff like that. And it's basically kind of what we've been talking about this time, moving on. So something else that I wanted to discuss or jump into the discussion questions, there's some really good vocabulary in the discussion questions. And so the three words I was highlighting is independence, confidence, and courage. And so it's how or discuss what it means to have these things. And so I know those words, they appear similar to us, but teaching our children the difference. Like, what does it mean to be courageous, and when do they need to have courage? Walking into new settings, maybe staying the night over a person's house for the first time if they've never stayed the night out before. It could even be grandma's house. Walking into a school for the first time, situations where they would need to have courage, where they would need to flex their independence and their confidence. But I'll show you some more things as we go along that help to build those skills as well. But another discussion question was, how do books introduce you to new things? As we all know, books are adventures. It's not just about the literature. It's not just about the words forming sentences. It's also about exploring things outside of your home without leaving your home. So for example, there are people in other countries who haven't experienced snow, and they could totally read a book about the experience of snow and try to vicariously understand what it means through that. So books open doors to children and give them ideas and notions of things that they would do growing up, like, I don't know, becoming an astronaut. Anyway, moving forward to creative art. So we want our children to be independent, like we said, and we want to give them opportunities to practice independence. And so another thing that I created over here is, they already have these in the world. They exist, but if you don't own one, then you can make one at home. So here I've taken a shoebox and put a little guy who's a little friend of mine jacket on the outside. Thank you very much, little buddy. And so here we have the jacket attached to the outside of the box, but it has zipper. So since the box is big and sturdy, it's really easy for children to use. And so they can practice zipping. Also, this jacket in particular has Velcro. You can pick something with buttons if they have trouble learning how to button or snap. As long as it fits around the box comfortably, it's fine. Or you can even fashion it to like a piece of cardboard, which would be really easy as well. But inside of this, I also have the lacing here, which I just poke some easy holes. And one easy way to poke holes is using a knitting needle. Easier than scissors, easier than a knife, if you have one. If you don't, just go ahead and use the knife. But here I put some old laces in here so they can practice tying. And I also took an old belt. I cut some slits in the top of the box, put an old belt, and so they can also practice buckling. And so that's something that's fun that they can help you make. When they participate, they want to be a little more invested into it. So they might really like it if they help you make it. Also, something else is we talk about taking a box that's shaped like a cube and taping up on all sides. Now, you don't have to make it as cute as this. Megan did a really good job of creating this one. You can literally write some verbs or moving words on the outside of the box. I say moving words. Don't quote me on that. And on each side of the box, you'll put a different activity. And so here we have dance like a monkey. We have hop on one foot. So you might want to take this outside, give it a toss like a die, and then whatever it lands on the top, jump 5 times. This will give them an opportunity, a fun way to try different things. Maybe one of these is jump rope. And we just so happen to do this with the page protectors. So with the paper protectors, you can glue them on or tape them on, but you can make it so they're interchangeable. So there's a nice little pocket in here. And so you certainly can get a lot of uses out of this box, changing it to different things. So we have that as well. Oh, and just really quickly back to the lacing and stuff. If you don't have the shoe box and all that, you could certainly just cut out the shape of a shoe, poke some holes in it with a hole punch, have their child decorate it, and here you can lace it with any string you have. It's not, like I said, as sturdy as the box, but it's still practice, and practice makes perfect. So no worries about that. Also, there's a really cool song teaching children confidence. It's called Yes I Can, and basically they just throw the words in there what they can do. So it goes to the melody of Little Liza Jane. And for those of you who don't know that song, I'm just going to demonstrate how it goes. So the song would go, I can tie my own shoes. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. I can tie my own shoes. Yes, I can. And so you just literally throw anything in there they could do. I can zip my own coat. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. And so on and so forth. And so that's something else that you can do with them. Let's see. Also, there's this name acronym that I came up with, and it's called I Can. And so kind of ignore the I at the top because I kind of shouldn't have put it over my name. But either way, if you could just see Cinnamon, I wrote my name down the side of one paper, and just for the sake of curriculum, I did it on a really big piece of paper, but it could be any size, it doesn't matter. And then I wrote with each letter of my name things that I'm capable of doing. I'm capable of climbing, or I can invent new things. I can nourish myself with healthy food. I can nurture my family. I can add and subtract. I can make PB&J sandwiches. I can open jars, and I can nuzzle a pet. Sometimes it's hard to find words to match the letters, but it's really fun to come up with them with your child, and whatever they come up with could be funny, even really interesting. Moving forward to free play, just give your child opportunity to be independent. If there's opportunities for them to make their own bowl of cereal, for them to make their own sandwich, with your supervision, of course, or for them to get dressed on their own without your guidance, allow them to have those moments so they can get their good practice in. And maybe you want to have on those days where you don't have somewhere to be, so they can take their time and they can choose. Even, I guess the best part would be choosing what they wanted to wear, but give them an opportunity to practice those skills. So now we'll move on to math and science with Megan.
Fantastic. Thank you. So as we always say, just for the activities, use things you have in your house. So, and do these just while you're playing with your child. You can set aside time specifically to do it, but you can bring it math and science anytime throughout the day. So maybe you're playing with Legos and you're saying to your child, all right, how many Legos do we have here? We have 4 Legos. Let's build a tower. If I use 2 of the Legos to build a tower with, how many are we going to have left over? So we're doing basic subtraction, and then say, okay, young kids won't be able to answer that necessarily. Okay, we put the tower together. Now how many do we have? 2. Great. Now what if we add these 2 back in? How many do we have? And then we count them. 4. So maybe the only part they can do is count the objects, but that's we're embedding these skills into their heads here. Something else during snack time is great. I just put out some Cheerios. So maybe you want to give them 10, and you give them 10 and you count them all. And then you say, mommy's going to eat 2 and you're going to eat 2. How many do you think we're going to have left? Again, having them predict that. Then eat them and recount it so then we can see the math. And you can just do this anytime. So if you're out in the car and you're going for a drive and you get out and daddy gets out to run into the store, you can say, there were 3 people in the car, but daddy left. Now how many do we have left? 2. And so doing that, look for it anywhere in any situation, going to the grocery store, you can really find math. And it's really just, again, about exposing them to these skills, and then they will pick up on it. You will be surprised.
Thank you. Thank you, Megan.
Thank you.
Appreciate the creative ways, especially when you make it really relatable. It makes it easier concept for the child to understand. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
And don't forget, friends, get outdoors, get those big muscles going. Another way to do that is using this box. Take this box outside that you created, toss it around, have your child do some of the stuff in there. Even you participate as well. Just remember, it's important to get outside before it gets too cold. I mean, not that you can't go outside when it's too cold. It's just easier now to not have to completely bundle up. And today just so happens to be a beautiful day. So my friends, that concludes week 24. We'll be back again. You'll see us around, and thank you for tuning in. Take care.
Thank you. Goodbye.